Hello from Les Voiles de Saint-Tropez, and here's a face that many of you will recognise, Will Oxley, who's sailing on Nanoq, the TP52. Tell us a bit about your day.
Yes, well, a day on the water in Saint-Tropez is always a good day, but unfortunately today's race was abandoned. We were line honours as well as leading on handicap about 800 metres from the mark, so that was a bit unfortunate, but a lot of the fleet wouldn't have been able to complete the course in a dying breeze, so I think that was fair enough.
We've got a few Australians on board, or a couple of major Australians on board. Tell us about them.
Yeah, so we normally have Kyle Langford and Morgan Larson doing the main and the tactics respectively, neither of who were available this year, and so Kyle recommended a couple of, if they couldn't get someone as good as him, a couple of guys that might do okay, and we ended up with Will Ryan and Tom Burton, so it's pretty top heavy at the back of the boat.
And you were saying their gold medals were clashing as they were crossing the boat.
Yeah, a bit of humour, but in all seriousness, I mean, they're both highly talented sailors and both sailing in the Super Series, so very used to sailing on the 52s. And I think that Kyle better watch out. His position might be in some danger.
And I think Will Ryan was saying just a moment ago that Tom Burton's been about unluckiest man here. He's pinged every start, but the transitions have been shocking.
Yeah, it's how it is here sometimes in Saint-Tropez. And this year, unlike previous years, not only are we starting in the first sequence instead of having the traditions start ahead of us, but we're also moved up to be the first start. So what that means is that we're back into the bay the earliest, and the sea breeze hasn't filled across. So the first 2 days we were line honours boat coming into the bay, and ended up just parking up, and the rest of the little boats came up and got us on time.
Yes, we can vouch for that, because on one of the days we were chasing you guys in to get you before the breeze died out. You were creaming along nicely, and then literally we could see the end of that breeze and just came to a standstill.
Yeah, well, this is a Nanoq is a chartered boat, better known as Red Bandit these days, that does well. But she's quite an old 52 with a lot less stability, but a reasonable age allowance, and she rates quite well. So some of the others, like the old Patrice is here, now racing as Voodoo. And the other Patrice is here racing as Lisa R, the Kerr 46 or 47. So quite a lot of Australian influence in the boat. So they give us 2 minutes an hour, something like that. And so that's pretty handy when you get a good start and it takes most of the race to get past you.
Now, your association with this team goes back quite a while, as do others. Tell us a little bit about that.
Now, King Frederik came out to Hamilton Island when he was the Prince in 2017, and he chartered Wild Oats 10. And we had no real expectations, and we managed to win that regatta, and I guess I've been around ever since. So I think it's about my fifth one of these, and we've managed to win the last 4 that I've been here. So, we're hoping that we have a good day on Saturday.
Good odds. And we can't leave talking to you without talking about the weather. What's the sort of particularities about this part of the Med? You've got to think about light breezes mostly, yeah?
Yeah, it's interesting because just to the west of us, we've got the Gulf of Lion, and the Mistral funnels down there. But here we're in a bay that is quite, unless it's a particular direction that the Mistral sets up, we are often don't see that Mistral. And in fact, in this bay, in the morning you get a light breeze coming down off the mountains, and then you often get sea breezes setting up on each side of the bay. So it's a very complicated place.
So can those sea breezes be from different directions?
Yeah, completely different directions. Yeah, that's right. So you get a feeding in. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And typically the French rely on the Arome model, which does a good job in the Med, but it hasn't been on the money this week. And a shout out to Nick White and Expedition. His WRF model is doing a pretty good job this week. So hopefully this goes to air after the regatta's finished. But no, it's performing very well all around the world, and so full credit to to Nick.
Fantastic. Lastly, Saint-Tropez, it's our first, it's not your first. It's a pretty special place, isn't it? I mean, the atmosphere, the street, the people that are here.
Yes, so typically this is the end of season regatta for the sailors in Europe, and it has that sort of a feel of the year wrapping up.
Yeah.
And there's a little, bar which you may have come across, the little cave around near the fish market.
Funnily enough, we have a bit of Airbnb directly above it.
Yes, so that is a highlight. There are 3 places in the world, my 3 favourite places to sail. Hamilton Island is one of them, Porto, Sardinia is another, and Saint-Tropez.
So excellent.
Yeah.
Cool. And what's next for you, briefly?
Hopefully a little rest. It's been a bit frenetic this year. And then there's a few irons in the fire. I've been doing a lot of work with Soderbo, the old team, and there's plans.
So weather routing for those guys for Vendée?
Yeah.
For Jules Verne.
Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. And then a very big year next year. I've been doing a lot of work with Raven, the semi-foiling boat, and that's been a big season. We're planning to go across the Atlantic early in the year and then perhaps come back a little later. So that'll be exciting. And a big program planned with Proteus, the 72.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Will. It's always useful catching up with you. We chase you around the world. We always get good insights into the weather. Enjoy the last day. All the best for it.
Yes, thank you. Beautiful weather here. I might even go and find my wife and have a rosé.
Better still, the rosé regatta.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks, Will.
Cheers. Thanks.